We are starting our lesson right now. Emmanuel Mwanza. The rest will join us in the course of the lesson. So I send a notification to your CISO class to notify you and your parents that you're supposed to get Scratch program from the internet. And I said the Scratch program is of 116 MBs. It is available for all sorts of operating system programs, that is Windows OS, iOS for Apple products, MacBook and iPhones. It's available for Chrome OS. It's available for Android. So there's no limitation on Scratch program. You can also install it in your mobile phones, in your tablets, on your laptops, on your desktops. So there's no limitation. I expected quite a number of you who have installed the app and have tried some basic codes that are available right there. So today I will take you through and share with you some of the basic information that you need to have to run this application to success. So maybe if I may just start by sharing with you like some of the so this is basically coding class, which is done on Scratch program. So here's mine, and I earlier mentioned that you can get the copy of the book besides the PC at cost of 650 via Jumia. Just log into www.jumia.co.k or email me at alijs0@gmail.com. Get back to you with the copy of the book, or copies if you might need many. So that is our Scratch, and I'll take you very fast to also do codes. So first of all, we are going to do away with this character that is on a default mode. So we're going to create ours. So in this case, we always have a default sprite. Choose your background. A default sprite is a character. So in this aspect, maybe you copy this in the corridors like that. So that will be your background. You can see it for yourself. And choose a sprite. Sprite is what we call a character. For this case, we're going to choose a balloon. And this balloon, you can make it different. So, like I said, you can choose a costume. Choose whichever kind of costume you like to have. So you highlight like that, and you come to fill, choose the color of your favorite. And if that is mine, so our character shall have changed the color to that. So very quickly, let's go start looking on to what we need for this game or project to be complete. So we're going to start by looking at some of the codes that are necessary for us. We're going to start by the events when this part is clicked. So that's our first code. And note that not all the games that you might choose to create have changes on.
So these are some of the codes that you will need to know. We have motion, we have
it should give us a pop sound. So
we have loops
first start the pop
and all this
sound and place it there. Okay, click OK. So once you do that, go to the second set, that is change my variables.
So we are going to have another stack of codes after that that will enable us
on this accounts report. Actually, we run ourselves one point, place it separately. We want this codes that we placed to be on a repeat mode, not for a specific number of times, but like forever until we are tired. So we're going to use forever for the control. And before the balloon moves from one point to another, we can have it wait for a second. So we're going to look for the code that will allow us to
so
and then the next one we need
our sprite will have to wait for a second or 1 second before it jumps to another position, because it will be moving randomly for you to keep on looking for it and pop it or even bust it for you to earn a point. So it will have 1 second for you to get it.
that is on the looks randomly, so that is on.
So again, the code that I've just placed there is to change the look on the sprite. Once you pop it or you touch it, it changes its look. Like it will give you different colors every time you touch it, from green, red, yellow, blue. So now that some of these codes will be repeated like forever until maybe you make a stop on it. The sprite we picked, which is the balloon, will be moving randomly, repeatedly. That's why we place this code here under forever. So maybe if I just let you see what happens, we create the scores, you touch the balloon, it changes color, you hear the pop sound, and you also earn yourself a score. Like that.
So if you're working with the touch screen, you can also pop it with your finger. Unfortunately, mine is not. So that's how you play. And it keeps jumping around the screen like that. Now our score is at 20.
So with that, you earn yourself a score, and
if you want to save your project, you can simply come here.
With all that said, what you've seen on the screen that I was sharing was a game or a tutorial video clip I made for my students in Tech Zone Club. And some of them have been able to come up with some beautiful games on Scratch. So I don't see anything that should make you stop trying to come up with something beautiful as such. So again, it's going to be for your own entertainment. So just try to get the app, install it in your device, be it mobile phone or your laptop or your desktop, and try to come up with a game. Maybe next week you can share with us. Maybe if I can also share my screen on how Scratch interface look like when you install it. Oh. So that's Scratch. It's loading on the desktop. You can just give it a minute. Just taking time. So it's creating a project. Just in a bit, it will be there. Okay, so this is basically an interface of a Scratch, how it looks like. So we have the default character that we've been talking about, that is a cat. You can also make this. Maybe cat chasing a rat, something like that. Every corner the cat makes, you earn yourself a point, or every time it gets closer to the rat, you earn yourself a point. So a point. You just be creative and come up with something. So let me just maybe indicate you if you don't want to work with this default character, you delete it from here. Click there, it will go. Then you can now choose your own. We have varieties of these characters. So basically today I'm only going to show you how to get your characters, and maybe codes will come later on. So we have category where we have all, we have animals, we have people, we have fantasy, we have dance, we have music, we have sports, we have food, fashion, and letters. So if you want to work a little bit efficiently or more accurate, you need to get to the right category. So if you need people, you just go to this category of people, you click there, and then, oh, I mean animal. You get the kind of animals you need. If it is a flying cat, a cat, a dinosaur, we have varieties. We have varieties. If you need to get people, like I said, you click on that column and get the kind of characters that you wish to have. If you scroll down, you will find there's quite a number of characters that you can work with. Fantasy, you can have all this. bat, room, dragon. We have dance. You can see they have some moves. So those moves are supposed to be initiated by those codes I showed you on the clip. And we have the music, all the kind of instrumentals that you wish to have. We have sports, all sorts of game, referee, all this. We have one for food, fashion, and latest. So all these are the sprites, or the characters that you can choose and work with. Again, after maybe you picked a sprite or a character, you can also choose to have different backgrounds for different games. Not all games can be played in the field. Not all outdoors activities are played in the field. Some of them are played or are carried out at different places. So we have this, we have that is under all. When you have fantasies, when you make a game of fantasy, you can have different backgrounds for that. The castle for White House, hood. If it is music, there is concert, spotlight, theater, theater two. We have sports, we have the baseball, we have the baseball two, basketball, basketball two. So all these kind of backgrounds are supposed to match. They're supposed to match all these sort of backgrounds are supposed to match the kind of activities you're coming up with. So if you're having an outdoor activities, you look for an appropriate background that will match that activity that you're trying to come up with. The indoors activities, space. We have the underwater, like those who love to make the baseball. You can play the baseball in a neon tunnel. Those who would like to create an aquarium that is underwater pattern. Somebody's noise is loud enough. We can hear you. Mute yourself. So from the aspect of the sprites, which I say the sprite is the character, and the backgrounds, I believe now you are able to choose which sprite will go with which background. So maybe, for instance, if I may demonstrate a little bit, if we were to choose this sprite, so this is our character. We have to choose for an appropriate, and this is a dancer. We have to choose an appropriate background that will fit what we're trying to create. So you come there and choose a background, like for music. Now, because we are working with the dancer, we need to choose something that is matching what we are doing. So we have theater two, we have spotlight, and concerts. So maybe if it's a concert, you choose a concert. But I think let's choose this. So our dancer will be in that. You can move it, or you can also create several of the characters. You add another character. It's not necessarily you work with one character. You can add another character, but remember, each character that you work with are supposed to have certain codes for you to have a complete project. So if it is still the dancing, you choose another character that will so we have another character right there. So all these two characters, once you've created the background and you insert the characters, now you need to get the chords right. And very quickly, maybe if you might try at your own time, we have Scratch tutorials. These tutorials will guide you on what exactly chords are supposed to be used at what specific time and on what specific spike. So if we pick maybe the dancer number 1, you click here, then you get your chords right maybe through the tutorial. So in the tutorial, we will have quite a number of, let me see if it is there, if we can get the dance. So all these aspects that you are able to see here are supposed to give you the guidelines on what you're supposed to do, like what I demonstrated in my earlier clip. So if we have those characters, unfortunately, we don't have the. So if you were to create this duo having a dance competition and you needed to get your chords right, for instance, we are going to use this to demonstrate on how to get your chords. What is displayed here is a tutorial, the one that is going to guide you on which chord is to be placed at what point and at what time. So in case we were to make the flying cut, you click here and you get the chords indicated as I can maybe point here when sorry, our time is almost 10 minutes away. So these are the chords that are supposed to be for the first step for this cut. You move to the next step, you get the chords. So basically, if you are stranded when you are trying to make these chords, come to tutorials, it will guide you on which chords are supposed to be used when you're coming up with a certain project. So in case you want to make a project like what I'm indicating right here, look for appropriate spikes and appropriate background that will match what you're trying to come up with. Like what it looks like is what I expect when I give an assignment maybe for you to carry out. Try to match your sprites or the characters with the appropriate background and then get your chords right. So maybe in our next lesson, that is next week, I will give you the chords for specific kind of projects like this one, and then come up with your own, create your own projects and share with us. So for the sake of those who joined late, I will again share with you a clip. Though we are 8 minutes into our ending time, but that should not stop us. Just a minute. So the screen that is about to start sharing on your screens is a clip I demonstrated earlier. And it guides you to know how to do certain codes for specific. I believe you are able to see that. Just like I mentioned, this is an offline program. Once you download it and install it into your device, you don't need an internet to work with it. So this is a typical guidelines on certain codes. So we picked balloon as our spikes. You can also change how you want it to look. That is on specific kind of code. Now you can see it's changed from blue to red, which on the screen looks maroon.
So very quickly, let's go start looking on to what do we need for this, etc.
So we're going to get the codes. So the first one is when it is clicked, when the spike is clicked, under motion. Now we choose to have as our variable. So every time you do a certain activity that earns you a score, like when you the balloon that we picked is supposed to be moving randomly on the screen. So you pop it, it gives a pop sound, and once you pop it, you earn yourself a score. If you miss, you don't get the pop sound, you don't get yourself a score. Until it gives a pop sound, that's when you earn yourself a score. So this is a typical video I made for learners in Tech Zone Club, and some of them have been able to create some beautiful games. So just try to download the app like I mentioned earlier in your CISO class notification. The app is not that big. It's an online program. Maybe if I want it to where it starts run.
That is our seven. You can create as many codes as you want to have. But for today, let's work with that and see what really happens now.
So you will be able to see what really happens if you get your codes right, and you'll be able to see. Now, at least it will keep you entertained and you enjoy your own creation. So with that,
once you're done and you want to save your project, you can simply come here, save to your computer. But this
our time is running very fast, so if you may allow me, I'll stop there and maybe let anyone ask questions. So I'll unmute. Yes, somebody with a question?
Good morning, Mr. Samora.
Good morning, madam.
Not really a question per se, but
Yeah.
I feel that maybe this particular topic, it would be good if there's also some exercise involved, because I have a feeling that not many of the children actually would understand or continue to go and do the activity on their own. So I don't know whether it can be broken down to actually learners to do so that you can actually see that they are doing or not. So I don't know how that one can be actualized, but I think so. The other thing is that the recording was quite static. I don't know how many got exactly what was going on, but from my end, I saw that it was quite static, and I could not actually clearly pick the instructions as they were being relayed. So I don't know. I feel that it's good, yes, unless maybe if the link of that can be shared and the children can see at their own pace, at their own time.
Yes,
maybe that one will be better so that they can actually listen and follow the instructions, maybe.
yes.
Thank you.
I always share back the video link after we are done for an individual to follow at his or our own time. Okay, so anybody else, maybe? Thank you, madam. Thank you for your input. Lukman. Okay, if there's no other question, I will share this video link later on in our CISO class, and I hope you find time to watch it. Thank you for